Hello, it's good to be with you and to teach you and share with you some things that I've learned, and also to have the opportunity to learn from you. I've really loved the reading that we've had so far and feel like uh, I'm getting there as far as my preparation goes for my workshop, and I'm excited to share some things that I've learned from our readings, and also some thoughts and personal feelings that I've had as well. So the first thing I'd like to share with you, and that's on my outline, is the target audience, who you're going to teach. I think this part is essential, and something we've already began to do here in this course. But I think that if we don't know who we're going to teach, one of the most important things a teacher has is someone to teach. And so if we don't figure out who we're going to teach, then the rest isn't going to work out. So first, I think is figuring out our target audience, who we're going to teach, and to define that audience. What do they like, and what are their interests, and how are we going to catch that interest, and begin considering that. How are we going to catch that interest? What do we have to offer? I think that's essential as well, to consider what do you have to offer them. How are you credible? What are you going to do to build that credibility? What do they need? And maybe that's a question that we consider even before what we have to offer. What do they need? And then do we have that to offer them? But the needs is really what I think everything else is based around. As we plan and prepare to give a workshop, we should base that on their needs, not our needs, but their needs. I think to find out those needs, it's important that we do our research, that we go and we find out, considering who we're going to teach, we research that target audience, and then we can know them better, and also to consider what questions they might have, so that we can begin to prepare to answer those questions. And then another question that I thought of, or another thing I think that's important that we consider, is why we want to help them. What is our motivation, I guess? Is our motivation to promote ourselves, or to promote something that we're doing? In some ways it can be, and some of our motivation in this course is going to be to pass the class, to pass the course. But I don't think that has to be, or should be, our only motivation or our driving motivation. I think the motivation that we should have in family life education is out of love for families, and love for individuals in those families, and the opportunity to build and to help them. Marjorie P. Hinckley, she said this is one of my favorite quotes. She said, "There isn't a person you wouldn't love if you could read their story." Everybody that we teach has a story, and no matter what our target audience is, everyone has a story, and I think we should strive to love them. And the next thing that we consider, after we have our target audience, and we've considered that, is our product. What is our total package? What are we going to give? As we've considered the needs, now what can we give to help that? It should be geared. This product should be geared toward our target audience. That just makes sense. Getting to know your audience, I think, will help them feel like you care about them, and I think that's important, because no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. That's one of my favorite sayings. I think it's also important that we have a purpose and know what we want to achieve. We got to have a goal. We got to have something we're reaching for, not only for ourselves, but for them as well. We need to recognize other products, or maybe even competition out there, and see what we can offer in addition to what they offer, or how we can compete in a sense with them. Also, it's important that we create something that will meet the needs, as I mentioned before, of your audience, and also have a lasting effect. So not just meet the needs for a day or meet the needs, but hopefully we can create something that will meet their needs for a longer period of time. And in doing so, we need to prepare to answer those questions, like I mentioned earlier. I think there's three questions that are vital that we consider. One is, will it affect or change the participant? Will our product affect or change the participant? How will it change them or affect them? and will that change last or be useful in the future? Another thing that we need to consider as we have our product is, what approach are we going to use? Are we going to use the expert approach, the facilitator approach, the critical inquirer approach, the collaborator approach, the interventionalist approach, excuse me, or the eclectic approach? And I think it's best to use a variety to change your approach and to use the benefits that come from all of those approaches. So eclectic. Also, the next thing on our list as we prepare is to consider the place or the location that we are going to use, the venue. So I think the first thing we need to consider is, where are we going to attract the most of our target audience? Because that's what that's what we're preparing a product for. So where are we going to attract them? Is it convenient? We need to consider parking, a walking distance, disabled accessibility. Does it have ramps or elevators? Is it safe and secure? Is it easy to find? And does it look good? Is it pleasing to the eye? Is it somewhere that people would want to return to after they've left for the first time? Also, online venues are available, and what a blessing that is, technology, as we have in this class. But technology is amazing and can be a great resource as well. I think in my teaching experiences, one of my main goals has been to create an environment of love, respect, and purpose. And I think the place, the venue, and what it is and what it looks like, that is the beginning. Because before you even interact with your students, they are going to see where they are and see you as well. So I think it's also important to consider our appearance. Then the price, another thing that we've learned about, because you can see I'm going through the 4 P's here. The price, is the price right? It's got to be right for it to be a beneficial experience for you and for your participants. Okay, so what will your target audience be able to pay? What is it that they are willing to pay? Are they lower income, or are they possibly higher income, or have the ability to pay? When it's cheap or free, more people will probably attend, as it's pretty obvious. However, we want to make sure it's reasonable. For us, in the stage that we're at, it's probably reasonable that we do something that's free, or close to, at least. But once we have built our credibility in the future, and we have more to offer that's worth a lot. Not that what we have now is worth a lot, but once we have some credibility, our worth will grow. And so we need to just make sure to be reasonable, and also a good resources to consider donations. Promotion. How are we going to promote it? How are we going to tell people about it? How are we going to let people know about it? I've had a little bit of experience in this field. I've done some door-to-door things, and I've seen that that's been effective. I've done door-to-door advertising before, and have seen the effective nature of that. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of time. So what other avenues will work best to reach your target audience? All of it will take a little bit of time, but it's important that we put some effort into this area so that we can actually have an audience when we're prepared to give our workshop. So word of mouth, newspaper, flyers, you can mail them, or door to door, and also I think one of the best resources that we have in our day is social media, and what a great resource that we can use that to spread the word and to tell people about what we have to offer. And I think it's also important to offer, or to recognize, the quality of our promotion. We want to make sure that that's a high quality that will attract our audience, our target audience. Finally, in promotion, we need to consider what else we have to offer. What else can we offer them that will give them that little extra or additional incentive to come and to join us? One thing could be food or fun or friendships or just a high five, something in addition to what our product already is, that will entice or invite them to come and to join us. So those are my thoughts overall, and I'm excited to continue to grow as an individual, and also to grow my workshop, and hopefully have the opportunity to teach others. Final thought is that I've noticed, as I've kind of been looking through and as I've read and studied, that Christ is an incredible example of all of these things. He focused on the audience, on his audience, whoever he was teaching, and he met their needs. He had a product, and he knew his product, and he loved his product. He looked for appropriate places, whether it's the temple or a quiet in the field where it's quiet, or even one-on-one. His price was right, and he was willing to pay the price to give his message. And also he sought out others to help him promote what he's been given, and that's what we do today as missionaries and as members of the church, as we promote him. So that's my final thought. I look forward to learning from the rest of you. Thank you.